Hey English Explorers, Kimberly here for day 13 of the Learn to Speak English Without Fear 33-Day Challenge. And today we're setting out on an incredible adventure right from where you are. Welcome back to our journey where we accelerate years of struggling to learn English into months. We've been building so much together. We found the music of speech on day 3. We committed to micro habits on day 8, turned mistakes into fuel on day 9, honed our active listening skills on day 10, practiced speaking solo on day 11, and broke free from the translation cycle with lexical chunks on day 12. Now it's time to take all that amazing internal work and bring it into the real world. Today, we're talking about forging your own immersion. You don't need a plane ticket or a passport to start living your English life. You can create it right here, right now. If you're ready to stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them by using your English, tap that like button now. Comment immersion in the chat so I know that you're ready to dive in. And share this video with someone that you know of who dreams of traveling but feels their English is holding them back. You know, I hear it often. I'll learn to speak English when I travel abroad. I'll worry about being fluent when I move to an English-speaking country. I have no one to practice with here, so what's the point? This is the waiting for immersion trap. It's the belief that you need to be physically surrounded by English to truly activate it. And while traveling is an amazing thing, this mindset becomes an excuse to delay, to procrastinate, to keep you from facing your fears. It creates a huge gap between your desire for fluency and the reality of what it takes to truly achieve fluency. You learn all these amazing techniques, but without real-world application, the fear of using them grows. You freeze up. You feel like an imposter. Either that robot voice comes in or silence takes over whenever an actual opportunity to speak arises. How can you accelerate years of English into months if you're waiting for an external circumstance to grant you permission to speak? You can't. You have to give yourself permission. The truth is, immersing yourself in a language only happens through deliberate actions. You must have a desire and a determination to leave your comfort zone and completely let go. You can design your English world no matter where you are. This isn't about passive consumption anymore. This is about proactive engagement. It's about turning your everyday life into a constant, low-stakes English playground. It's about taking those beautiful chunks you learned about on day 12 and putting them into action. It's about extending your solo speaking practice from day 11 to actual interactions. And yes, it means making more productive mistakes from day 9 proudly, because that's how you learn and grow. When you design your English world, you're not just learning English, you're living it. And living it is the fastest way to accelerate your fluency. Let's make this tangible. Create little pockets of English in your day. This technique is called the English Zone Strategy. I want you to designate an English time. Pick 15, 30 minutes each day where everything you do is in English. For example, you might decide to do my English breakfast. While eating, you listen to an English podcast, read an English article, or narrate your morning routine to yourself in English. Do you remember that activity from day 11? Or you could designate an English space. If possible, pick one physical space where you only take in English content. For example, your desk, your kitchen counter, your car. If you're in your car, while you're in your car, you only listen to English music or podcasts. And while you're cooking, you follow an English recipe video. That could be interesting. And have a digital English zone. You could try that. Change your phone's language, your social media feeds, your browser default language to English. This trains your brain to expect English, to switch modes automatically. It builds consistent exposure and makes English less of a separate study task and more of a life task. What's one English zone that you can create today? Type it in the chat and let me know. Now, the next thing I want you to try is called the Opportunity Hunter. This helps you see the world through an English lens. In big cities, you often encounter tourists or expats. Look for opportunities to offer to help, answer a question, or simply say hello. For example, you go up to them and say, "Excuse me, can I help you?" Or "Are you looking for something?" And if you're in an international store or a restaurant, there are many of those places that, especially in tourist areas, where the people who are on staff are bilingual. Ask a question about the menu or about a product. Another way you could work this is by joining an online forum, Facebook groups, Discord servers related to your hobbies, but conducted in English. Engage in text chats or even voice chats. Do you have any colleagues or friends who also want to practice their English? Suggest a coffee break in English once a week. Imagine you see someone looking lost holding a map. Instead of just walking past them, what if you said, "Excuse me, are you okay? Can I help you?" It's a small step, but a monumental leap for your confidence. This isn't about a deep, meaningful conversation initially. It's about taking tiny, brave steps to use your English in a real context. Now, it's a little scary to start a conversation, I know, but it's even scarier knowing what to say after the first sentence. And we have a kit that will help you. It's called the Initiate and Survive Kit, which takes us back to day 12's lesson on chunks. Remember, keep a few go-to phrases ready for basic interactions. Now, for example, when you want to initiate a conversation, "Excuse me, I'm trying to practice my English. Would you mind if I ask you a quick question?" Or, "Hi, how's your day going?" When you want to clarify something, a phrase you could have on hand is, "Could you please say that again? Could you speak a little slower, please?" Or, "What does X mean?" And if you want to keep a conversation going, you could say, "That's interesting. Tell me more about it." Or, "And then what happened?" And if you needed to gracefully exit from a conversation, you might try, "It was nice talking to you, but I have to go now. It was a pleasure speaking with you." These aren't complex sentences. They're survival phrases. They give you the confidence to start a conversation, to manage the interaction, and to leave gracefully, knowing that you've used your English well. Here's your 24-hour challenge. Commit to at least one proactive English interaction today. Create one English zone, time or space. You could actively hunt for one opportunity to use English, even a quick hello to a tourist or an online comment. Have 2 initiate and survive phrases ready. This is how you transform from an English learner to an English user daily. This isn't just about learning English. It's about living your English life right here, right now. This is how you accelerate years ahead. Remember, fluency is not found. It is forged. Every single proactive step you take, no matter how small, is a blow from a hammer against the wall of fear and isolation. You are building your English world brick by brave brick. Be proactive. Be courageous. Be yourself living in English. That's the true path to freedom and language. I'll see you tomorrow for day 14. Same energy, same passion, same dedication to your unstoppable English journey. Keep forging your immersion. Bye-bye for now, and God bless.